You guys ready for a little talk? About time, right? Good to see you guys. You guys okay out there? Okay. So, you guys, one thing that Spirit of Compassion always tells me is that time is one of the things that so much of us on planet Earth are stuck worrying about. It's time. And seems to have a law over our heads every day. Time for this, time for that. Chasing our tails. Time just rules everything. And the one thing, though, about time that's interesting, and I just want to start with this, is when you first get sick. Do you guys remember the first time you got sick? The first time you got a symptom? You remember? Remember what year it was? Maybe what month it was? Some people what day it was. It was October this, it was this day. That's how much time means so much to us. That's how much it governs us as well. We remember things just like when we were sick. And then there's something really interesting about the medical medium information, and it really doesn't have that law over its head. Spirit of Compassion has always told me that the medical medium information, because it comes from above, it doesn't come from me, it's timeless. There's something to say about that because there's so many things out there like biohacks and trends and everything else. It's not timeless. It screws people up. It hurts them. It throws them in different directions. But it's not timeless. It's not timeless. And so the medical medium information from above is timeless. And that brings me to the next thing I wanted to tell you guys is about our soul. Are you guys ready to talk a little bit about our soul? So, because we're under the law of time here on planet Earth, and it brings about so much stress because it does, got to get to work on time, you got to call somebody on time, everything has to be on time, so we're governed by that, and it's very stressful and difficult. But our souls, it's a different story. Our souls don't really see time the same. They just don't. In fact, when we leave here, someday, whether it's 100 years, 50 years, whatever it is, and we leave here, our soul is free from time itself, and it floats through space and time. It travels from this earth through this solar system. It's not governed by any time at all. And it's free, and it lives forever. I think that a lot of people, what holds them back is feeling like they're trapped under the law of time. They don't think that they're ever going to have another chance. But that's not true. That's not true. And I think one part of how we heal is to know these very laws, to understand this a little bit. It's a big part of healing. It's critical. The angels don't actually get governed by time either. They're not under that rule or that law, but we can access them anytime we want. We can. They're at our fingertips if we need them. They're there for us. How many of you guys are accessing angels? Are any of you guys trying to do that? Are you guys talking to angels? Do you talk to angels at night before bed? It's a powerful connection that everybody has the God-given right to do, is to access the angels, talk to the angels, use them to help you battle time, because the angels can. When we're going through life and we're chasing our tails and we're lost and confused, we have tools that we can have access to, and we do have access to every single day. And one is the connection to the angels. The other is understanding that our soul lives forever, no matter what. I think a lot of people think that this is the only shot you got down here, and it's not your only shot. You live forever. All the information you gather and learn and grow from stays in our soul. It travels far and wide in the future, 100 years from now. It's these very things that can give you some peace while you're healing your physical body here now. And that's critical. Having peace while you're healing. How many of you struggled with not having the peace while healing? Did you ever have that battle? You're trying to heal, but this is in your way. You're trying to heal, but that's in your way. You're trying to heal, but you don't really know how. You're up against so much, right? So it's critical to get moments of peace in our life while we're healing. And we have that. It's in our hands. We can gather that peace, and part of it is the information that comes above. Have you gotten any peace from the information from SOC? I know it feels like this. You know, we're on a ship, and we're out at sea, and we're floating out there, and floating out there, and we're on the sea of confusion. Any of you remember the sea of confusion, right? And that sea of confusion can be a long time for a lot of you guys with chronic illness. How many of you guys have been out in that sea before you found this information from above? You been out there? You know what it's like to be lost at sea? It's real. That's real. And you find this information from above, and then you're freed from that sea of confusion. And that's powerful. Keep in mind that your body's healing every day. I know some of you get kind of lost with that, and you don't think you're healing anymore. I know that can creep up. That's how it works here. Fears creep up, concerns creep up, and then we think we're not healing. But your body is healing. It's healing every single day. And all you have to do is just apply one thing that's the information of the medical medium information. You apply one thing, and it's life-changing for your body. Life-changing for your body, just one thing. Just the wild blueberry every single day, it's one thing, right? Just the celery juice, it's one thing. But just one thing, and things are changing inside the body. They are. You can find peace in that. If you do one thing, you find peace in that. If you need to access an angel, you can find peace in that. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this because so many people struggle with this. How many people do you know in your life that are struggling? Do you know anybody in your life that's struggling? And you care about them, you love them, you're worried about them, and they're struggling? Somebody in your life? You know somebody? Right? And they're struggling with what? Trying to have peace? Is that what it is? Peace in their heart? Peace in their mind? Peace in their head? Okay? And so I want you to know that if you need to get this information to them and say, look, you can find peace. It's there. You just need to know your body's healing no matter what. It will heal. Just give it something and it will heal. Sure, it might take a little while for somebody. It might take some time for some people, but it can heal and it will heal over time. And letting them know. And the other thing is having the faith. How many people you know struggle with faith? Do you know anybody that struggles with faith, you guys? You do? It's a difficult one right there. It's a difficult one because this world kind of sucks it out of you, sucks it away from you. It beats you down and it takes away our faith. That's what this world is like, right? That's what it does. But that's okay because we can build that back up. We can build it up and build it up a little bit each day and a little bit each day. I tell people that look for therapies all the time. They're looking for therapies of the mind. They're looking for help through the mind. And they're visiting their old baggage of yesteryear. And they're clinging on to it and clinging on to it. And it's holding them down every day. How many people have a little bit of that? You think something's holding you back from the past. That's something that takes our peace away as well. And we can cut that line that's holding back all that baggage that's keeping it attached to us. We can cut that fishing line. We can let it go. And that's another form of peace we can get. And what you'll find out there when you really break it down and you talk to somebody, they're missing that peace. They're missing that faith. They're missing something. They don't have that strength or that belief that they can talk to an angel. They're not sure about any information working. It's hard to get them to understand, say, medical medium information. But all this can change. But you guys have already come this far. You've already gone through all this. You beat out the sea of confusion. You got away from there. You got off that ocean. You know medical medium information is classic and timeless. It's timeless. It is. It's here for you today. It's here for you tomorrow. It's here for somebody a year from now, 10 years from now, 100 years from now. It's here for them. And it's always going to beat out the other stuff out there that keeps on recycling all over again and all over again, because this will always be here because it came from above. And the other thing is being hard on yourself too. I notice that today, right here, everybody coming in, a lot of people are hard on themselves. Spirit of Compassion was telling me, this person's hard on themselves. This person is hard on themselves. They think they're a bad person. They have a lot of fears. They have a lot of worries. All these things. And we don't have to have that because you're a good person. You didn't do anything wrong. You're a good person. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't create your illness. You're not the reason why you got sick. You're not the reason why you're sick now and still struggling. You're not. It's not your fault. But we tend to kind of believe that somehow and carry that and then punish ourselves. And we have to learn to let that go too. Now, I've heard that saying, let it go, and it's really insulting. It's like, just let it go. How many times have you heard that out there? Just let it go. Just let it go, right? Yep. You can't let something go if you don't understand it. You can't let something go if you just don't have another way to do it. And one way to do it is you didn't create your illness. You didn't create your problem. You're not the reason for it. You didn't start it. You're not a bad person. It's not your fault. You're not faulty. You're not broken. That has to be embedded in your consciousness forever, in your soul. And you guys know this, and you're doing it. When I was just sitting over here a couple of minutes ago, the Spirit of Compassion was saying, let them know that they are good. You are good. Doesn't matter what happened in the past. A lot of times we beat ourselves up when we get sick. We beat ourselves up when we get chronic illness. It just happens. That's the way the world kind of like does its thing. But you guys don't have to believe or think that anymore. You're good people. You've been through hell and back. How many of you guys have been through so much? Somebody told me they were on their hands and knees praying to God. They were. And you're here now. You're standing. You're healing. And it's a miracle. The thing about me is I can only do so much. I need you guys to do the other part. And I talked about that the other night a little bit. And you guys are doing the other part. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it. Seriously. All the years, over 3 decades, you guys have me so blown away. It's unbelievable. Yeah. How many of you are having dreams where you have a struggle in a dream? How many of you have a dream where it's difficult? How many of you have a dream where it's a bad dream? I know there's a few of you, and I just want to tell you right now, and I said something about this recently, is that's you healing the emotional body. That's you healing the soul and the emotional parts of the brain. How many of you have PTSD throughout the years? You got PTSD? Really? You got PTSD? Right? Okay. After this light blast tonight, we're knocking that stuff back. I'm telling you now. tonight's the night we really clean up some things, okay? Because you guys know, you know what you're doing. You do. But we're really going to help it along tonight. We are. SOC wanted me to talk about these various things for a moment, kind of opening things up, consciousness-wise, soul-wise, kind of airing some things out. It's going to be a little emotional, and then we're going to send some serious light down. This is going to be an incredible night. I know that when you get sick, it's hard to be heard. It's hard to be validated. It is. When you're somebody with chronic sickness or you have a symptom, it's hard for that to hear that validation, to get that validation. Have you struggled with that at all? Where getting that validation, right? That alone is hard to deal with all on its own. And then being heard, that's another thing too.